Hello again. If you happen to be back, hey, thanks. How about the scene from Jaws? Okay. Anyway, Charlie here from, what do they call this channel? Flying Solo, right? There we go. That sounds good. Anyway, the last episode of repairs for this thing, we left off at, of course I forgot to record the finish of the last repair. I get distracted easily. ADD, you know. Anyway, you see this over here? I had just, yes, hey you too, Google. The 4 little screws on this holds the cowl in place on the last crash or two that broke the prop off, ripped the cowl out, and the little black plastic mounting pieces that are on each side that these screws go into got ripped out with it. Excuse me. OPCD and XYZ and nasal problems. So that got ripped out with the cowl. And stupid me, dopey, I went and glued them back according to how the foam was ripped. I put it right back in the same torn area and glued them in separately, instead of leaving them on the damn cowl and gluing them in with the cowl in place so it stayed aligned perfectly. So by me not doing that, the alignment wasn't perfect. So, but I was able to get the screws to go back in, a little fiddle screwing around to get them lined up, but it worked, and it's in there. And I guess I used the foam cure for that, which I should have probably waited to do the repair with the Super Gold Odorless Instacure Foam Safe CA. A lot of words there. Stuff works great. The motor mount itself was loose in the firewall, so to speak. So the firewall was repaired and glued back in place. If you were here last time, you saw the rubber bands I had attached to keep the tightness on it. That worked out fine. Of course, like I said, I forgot to turn on the camera to record that. Not that it's any big deal. You saw me putting it together and back and forth and rubber bands, and it cured and it's fine. This thing with the screws, I should have done it the other way, but I didn't, dopey. But the motor mount itself was loose, and I didn't trust the foam safe, foam cure, whatever it is, to hold it, because it didn't hold it last time I did that. So I waited a couple week or so, couple days, and from Amazon and got, well, actually comes right from Bob Smith, but sold through Amazon. And it's free shipping, no matter how much the charge is. So this didn't come from Bob Smith. This came from some other company that sells it, I guess. But anyway, the shipping was free. It was only $19. Jesus Christ, that's expensive. So anyway, held that beautifully, cured up nice, very good. 5-10 seconds. Motor mount was solid. But then I noticed also from one of the previous numerous crashes, I have a little gap here in the cabin area. I saw that last time. So now what I'm going to do is put the plane down so I can open this damn bottle of glue. Put that over there. A little A160 bit box. And I'm going to glue this puppy in there. Space that out a bit. Take this stuff and there's a little overlap lip there, so that's good. So I put a little drop there, and there, There. And hold it like that. And see how it does. Pretty good. Not bad. So if anything, my next crash, hopefully that'll stay in place and be resilient for what we need. Do you see the blue? No, it's not a motion RC box. It's my little flaps I was talking about trying to see if we can get this thing to fly a little slower. So I got some thin plastic sheeting, you see that there, and cut them out the size I thought I needed, I hope I need. And I have this double stick tape, here it is, some really interesting stuff. It's like ultra thin, ultra thin. How thin that is. So it doesn't make a bulky, bulging mess trying to stick things together. I put a thin strip there, and I glued these I curved them, plastic pieces, and on the inboard area where the flaps would normally be. And you see over here I'm charging the batteries because I'm planning to get out there today and see how many more times I can crash this thing. Like I had said in previous videos, I locked out the rudder to stay straight, disconnected the control rod, of course, and a little trick I've learned before putting the cap back on these things. How's my tissue? Don't know. Here someplace. Oh well. It's over here. No, it's not. Here it is. So, before putting the cap back on these things, I clean off the tip from the outside and then get near my ear. Don't get it in your ear, near your ear, and squeeze the bottle a little bit, just a few times. You can hear the airflow going in and out of the tube. That means you're clear. Cap it and clear away. Batteries are up to 4 volts. Using a parallel charging block. Got this in the used, discounted condition from Amazon back last year when I first started this craziness. Bought everything I thought I might need and haven't used half of it. But the reason it was discounted and it was used, there was a broken wire across, a broken circuit across this block of charging ports. Also, one of them is missing a pin completely, so it burned out, I guess. I took it apart, screwed around with it, checked it out. So I'm not sure if I actually fixed this broken wire over here or was it over here. I forget. Anyway, I know I can use this whole side no problem, and I think all the way up to this, but the balance cable has to be connected to the bottom here as opposed to the top here, which feeds from this side down. This one here feeds from the bottom up. So this side works fine, no problem. And I got my little 2S batteries in there charging up. And took a while to figure that out, but I was doing some reading online for balancing or parallel balancing batteries. Part of the description was sort of wrong, but somebody making a comment about it being somewhat incorrect cleared it up for me how I had to do this. And to charge parallel, every port doesn't have, well, I'm not sure about the bigger batteries, maybe you do, but with these small ones, you only need to have one power cable hooked up and one balance for one battery. The other batteries of the same caliber can be used just with the balance ports, and that charges them accordingly. So you don't have to hook up each individual power wire. I did it before and it worked, so I'm assuming I should have the same success with that. Alright, what else we got here? Oh, this is my head cam thing. Goes up there. I'll put that in there for the camera. Don't wreck the flaps, Charlie. What else was there? Oh, here's an interesting thought, or not thought, but a discovery. If you already have this plane, or you just got it, or planning on getting it, which I might not advise because of all its problems, but if you feel energetic and you have a challenging spirit, please have PSA. Then it's a nice looking little plane. It does fly nice when it's flying nice. Locking out the rudder, I think, is the key to keeping it right while using the stabilization system. I suppose if you don't use a stabilization system, 3D, it probably can be flown properly. I just don't have a lot of confidence in my abilities to handle it at this point because it's so quick. It's small and it's very quick. Keeping after it or keeping up with it, I felt a little bit on edge. So what I did was I locked the rudder, used the stabilizer, and been fairly successful in my flight. Still went down a few times. I'm not sure if the ailerons are reacting like the rudder was, but I do know when you hit the throttle, the elevator goes up and she tries to fly. But funny thing was, I was curious because when I was making my little flaps, I noticed one side had a bigger area than the other side. You see what I'm talking about right here, right? So I said, wait a minute, what's going on here? So I got my little trusty ruler out, and I measured from the aileron edge end to the fuse, and I ended up with 3.5 inches on this side, and over here we have 3 1/8. So I said, wait a minute, that's strange. So then I thought, well, let me check over here. So I checked with the ailerons themselves, and we get one side is 6 1/4 inches of aileron, and the other side is 6 5/8. Big difference. I thought that was really kind of odd. Good quality control here, folks. And let's see over here. That wing looks to be about the same as this one. So the wings are pretty much the same length. They're 12 and about almost, yeah, about 12.5 to the tip. And this is 12.5 to the tip. Maybe a slight variation. But I thought that was really interesting. Good quality control. I didn't even check these. So we have 3 7/8 and 3 3/4. Get this right here. 7/8. 7/8. Okay, that's good. So the elevator is the same. And crazy things. What are you going to do? So I don't think anybody else in their flight reviews have mentioned that. or bothered even checking. What made me check is because I was putting the flaps on and saw the difference in the area that they were going to go. So, quick recap of my life. So I met my ex-wife. No, let me do that. As some of the other guys have done, they gouged out down inside there where the battery goes. You can see that on that. To dig it deeper to get the battery to sit further forward. And this way you're hopefully getting your CD correct, or more correct, which I will check before I leave to go to the field today and see if I ever had it right in the first place. I did notice the last flight when the cowl was off, it did seem to be tail heavy, so maybe the cowl has a little bit something to do with that, or somewhat. I mean, it's not that heavy, but still, I guess every gram counts in the size of these things. As I said earlier, I had to cut a hole in the fuselage here where the wires came out for the ailerons. There's a Y connector in there that would not let the wing lay flat with all those connectors sitting right there. So I cut a hole out, very much like Brian Phillips did the same thing. He did his neater. I was surprised to find when I watched this video after I bought the plane, I had the same problem and the same fix. So cut the hole bigger, got the connectors to go down inside by pulling the wires through from the bottom of this hatch here. Make sure you keep your servos clear. And now it lays flat and doesn't have the wires hanging down inside or hanging out like some people have done, which is okay. Hey, to each his own. I just tend to follow the way things are supposed to be, and the wing had little channels molded into where the wire for the ailerons was supposed to follow, which brings it right back to this position where it's supposed to go into the fuselage. Unfortunately, the manufacturer didn't allow a large enough hole to let that happen. What are you going to do? His life. And of course, I glued my spinner back on cockeyed. How I did that, I have no idea. Oh well. That'll break off next time I hit the ground, I'm sure. Anyway, anything else I forgot? Measurements, okay, I mentioned that. Recap. Flaps, cool. And batteries at 4.1. Check that again in a couple of minutes. And no warmth. That's good. They're not getting warm at all. That's my, you know, if you check Amazon for things, you can get a decent deal periodically. But this charger, the 608 AC, it's a charger, AC-DC, has a power cord that plugs into the side, as this one is over here. And I made extensions for the power input, that being the power output, and the balance lead, because the batteries give you that much balance lead to connect with the power cord, pain in the ass. So I added this an extension there, an extension here. These are available on Amazon, and I bought a bunch of them. Why? I don't know why I bought so many, but I did. Made up a powered extension cord there, and these are normally $65 retail. Amazon had them for the $65, but if you pay attention or look periodically when you're looking at the listing, it'll show you others available, used and new. So I went to the used department and I see the one of these I bought was $52, I think, or $53. Used, like new, whatever, came in the proper box, works fine, does a good job. And I think the other one I saw was on sale was, you know, the used one, instead of 65 or 64 something, 65, was $54 I think it was, whatever, I'm not sure, but it was, you know, at least $10 less. And then of course you get the free shipping because it's over $25. And last time I was in Amazon in my account and I looked, I had these used ones previously on my save for later list, in my wish list, and I noticed the other day that there was another one in the used price range of $53 or $54, which I don't need a third one. I got two, that's enough, and I'm probably not going to utilize all of them that much before I die anyway. So we'll see what happens if I ever get these planes flying properly and get my bigger planes up in the air. I might print this over here, and my P-38 in there, and I got a T-28, T-20, whatever the hell it is, and I got a Cessna 310. I got the Dynam. I thought it was a good looking plane. It's got some problems in the building department, I'm told, from what I see online, but it's a good little plane, I guess, I hope, if I ever get to fly it. Now I've got an experimental thing I'm trying to, in my mind, I've built, but have to get around to working on it. It's going to be a ducted fan, home built, partially from other plane parts. Anyway, it's like the Petrini brothers building Bob building his crazy ducted fan airplanes. Anyway, I guess I've babbled enough, right? Batteries are getting close to being charged, so I'll go change and get ready to go, and we'll see what happens. Okay, thanks for stopping by again. If you did, if you could stand the boredom. Charlie out from Flying Solo. Sounds good.